Hello, participants of EDRA. I'm Clara Regina. I'm Brazilian. I'm a PhD student at Federal University of Paraíba in Brazil. I will present my work that is Verbal Projection in Applied Linguistics, Scientific Articles in Brazil. My supervisor is the Professor Elaine Spindler, and this work analyzes the verb seis in scientific articles in Brazil. The structure of my talk is Introduction, why Systemic Functional Linguistics, methodology to collect and to analyze science articles in Brazil, and results and discussions. My paper is part of an ongoing PhD research, and my paper is situated around the discussions that look at the representation of scientific discourse in academic writing, focused on a social language perspective of systemic functional linguistics, and an international research contributions to applied linguistics regarding academic writing as an institutional practice of disciplinary culture, according to Hyland and some works that he developed. My paper has an important contribution because scientific article is a conflict active in which a proponent constantly needs to make another person accept what is said to be scientific, therefore true and valid for a given situation. Also, my paper is important because it investigates scientific articles in Brazil, and this genre is important as an object of study and learning for students, professors, and researchers, and teachers for professionals, and also production, dissemination, or researching for researchers. The research question of this paper is: how is projection characterized in Brazilian Portuguese in applied linguistics scientific articles published in Qualis A1 and B1 journals in Brazil? And the research objective is to analyze and compare the realization of projection in Qualis A1 and B1 applied linguistic articles published in Brazil. While these papers use the theory of systemic functional linguistics, this research assumes that the projection systems organize representations of what is said in the voice projected in the discourse. The articles. Scientific articles have these characteristics of projection, and this paper assumes these characteristics of projection system according to the methodology approach construction consider that Qualis is a quantitative and qualitative evaluation tool of research in Brazil carried out by coordination of improvement of higher education personnel, that is called CAPS. And this is the page of the CAPS, as you can see. The CAPS classifies national and international journals in rising ranks: A1, A2, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, and C. CAPS evaluates and characterizes a journal as scientific journal, and its criteria are used for an organization of a web qualis. What is web qualis? Web qualis is a list of journals, of scientific journals that is classified in ranks and evaluation for consultation. Taking this tool into consideration for collect the data, this paper was based on a qualitative sample research. Then I collected 4 scientific articles from 4 journal here in Brazil. These journals are 2 of these journals are Qualis A1 and other 2 are Qualis B1. The first journal Qualis A1 is Revista Brasileira de Linguística Aplicada, that is, in English translation, Brazilian Journal of Applied Linguistics. The second journal is Trabalhos em Linguística Aplicada, as we can say here in Brazil, and the English translation is Papers in Applied Linguistics. The third journal is Qualis B1, and here in Brazil it's called Caminhos em Linguística Aplicada, that in an English translation is Paths in Applied Linguistics. The fourth journal is Applied Linguistic Horizons in an English translation. It's a Qualis B1 journal, and here in Brazil it's called Horizontes em Linguística Aplicada. So the methodology approach is that these papers collect the first article written in Brazilian Portuguese from the first volume of the 2020 year of 4 renowned applied linguistic journals were chosen. The 4 articles were published and made available online with free access. And these papers analyze the verb to say in these 4 articles. The verb says is a multiform verb here in Brazil. In scientific articles collect, the verbal form with more occurrence was dizer, that is called here in Brazilian Portuguese. In English translation, the verbal form dizer is the verbal form to say. In scientific articles Qualis A1, there were a total of 6 verbal forms to say. And in scientific articles Qualis B1, there were a total of 16 occurrence verbal form to say. Then I have these data to analysis, and I selected to this presentation 2 of these data that represent this data that I selected represent the others one. The first data that I selected is from a Qualis B1 scientific article. As we can see, in Brazilian Portuguese, the verbal form this is equivalent to an English translation, he says.